Hello everyone, welcome to Big Sister. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. My voice is a little scratchy today because I think I'm getting a cold. So I am like juicing up and all of that, and I think I caught something because the rest of the family, they weren't feeling good over the past weekend. We had plans for Labor Day, but nothing happened. None of the things that we planned to do happened because they were sick, and then I was making sure that they were taken care of, and I was doing everything in my power not to catch it, but I think I got a little touched. All right. So excuse my voice if it's not at its best. So I've just got wind. I could be late. I don't know how late I am about this black lady that was hit in the face with a brick. It is alleged that the guy asked her for her phone number, and because she rejected him and told him that she did not want to give him her phone number, that he proceeded to pick up a brick and hit her in the face. It is also stated that there were several men standing there that did nothing. There's a video going around of her crying, videotaping and asking the guys and saying to them, why didn't you protect me? Why would you guys just stand there and allow this man to hit me? And they were saying, well, what did you want us to do? You can hear them saying that. Then there's also another video that's going around showing where this guy is saying, yeah, I was there, but I was not going to help her. You need to understand context. She is a troublemaker. They also inserted clips of her in the past, going up to white people, having it filmed, and slapping the white man across the face. Now, it looked like she gently just put her hand across their face. I don't know if these were staged or not, but just a little bit that I did see, I'm not sure if it was staged. But she does not haul back and smack and assault them, but she does put her hand in their face and do this little smack as if she's slapping them for, I don't know, reparations or something. I'm not really sure. I saw another one where she's talking to old man. I don't know if he was homeless. I don't know what his thing was, but he had the gray beard and everything. And she walks up to him, gets in his face and says something. And then she, give him the little smack, and then she goes away and pops her butt. Now, I don't know what this man's status was. Again, I just saw this kind of quickly, so I don't know if he was a homeless person or if he was just an older gentleman, but he's older. That means he's possibly a father, he's possibly a grandfather, and we have someone going up to him as a prank, as a joke. She didn't hit him hard, but she did put her hand in his face, and she walks away. So now the issue that they're saying is, this one particular guy who continues to speak about this, he's saying, why am I going to help someone who's a troublemaker? I have a daughter, I have a mother, I'm not going to help her. He says, I am not stating that she deserved to be hit or it was okay for violence to have taken place here, but I am not putting myself in harm's way for a woman who goes around smacking people, who it's alleged that she has a TikTok that shows her doing a lot of things that will be considered inappropriate and disrespectful. So he's basically saying, I'm not putting myself out there to help or to intervene with someone who behaves this way, who is a troublemaker. Now, there's a lot of feedback about it. On one aspect, you have women that's saying men are making excuses. These are why black men are sorry. And then you have another group that's saying you guys didn't get the whole story. You guys don't know what happened. We're not going to help someone and put our lives in danger for someone who is asking for it. So there is just this whole, basically everyone's at a lot of people at least are at an impasse about this. And I'm going to give you my opinion on the matter. So first thing with me, and sometimes this does not come across good. This does not come across okay with people, because I am just a person who I engage with critical thinking. And what critical thinking means, we need the evidence. We need to think about it clearly. We should not get emotional and say, oh, this happened to this woman. Oh, all black men are this way. We should not get emotional and say, oh, she did something to deserve it. We got to slow down. So my opinion is based on giving two different perspectives. I'm able to see both sides of the coin, because when you don't have everything in full context. We see the end results, which is bad. It was hard to look at, but we don't know anything that happened prior to that. Now, if you think emotionally, you may say, oh, why do we have to see anything that led up to that? Are you saying she deserved it? No, I did not say that. What I'm saying is, being that we have not been equipped with a video from start to finish to see what has happened or anything of that nature, we are only given information on the end result. Then it is your job to have critical thinking, to think of what could have been. You have to look at both sides of it. What happened? Okay? So what do we have? We have a person saying the guy asks for a phone number and he hits her in the face with a brick just for that. And nobody protected me. We have that because that has come out of her mouth. Then we have a guy, only one that I know of so far, I don't know of anyone else, that's come forward and said, no, that's not what happened. She was being aggressive. I have a family. I'm not going to get involved in that. So we have that, at least that perspective. Okay. So based on those two things that we have, that is concrete and that has been provided to us, we should not go and imbalance the scales of going to one extreme or the next based on anything that's happened in the past, anything that you've experienced personally, because just because you experienced it or this may be the norm does not mean that that is exactly what happened in this scenario. So you have to remain neutral and then give perspectives based on both scenarios. So with that in mind, now you kind of understand how I think. Now you may understand why maybe some people may be upset because, oh, how could you think that way? And they will harp, right? They'll go on. So you're saying, no, I did not say that. What I'm saying is none of us knows what happened. There is no evidence of it. We simply have what they have stated. We have two different stories, two different perspectives, and now I'm going to give you my opinion based on that. First and foremost, I personally believe that there should be an innate sense of an innate sense to protect whenever someone sees another person being harmed. We are unfortunately in a society, whether it is a male or a female, it can be a mother standing there, a female watching a mother mistreat her child, and they won't do anything. As a matter of fact, there are females who will stand by and know that their friend is being abusive to their children and mistreating them, and they'll visit and see the poor condition that the child is living in, but yet and still they will not do anything. There are people who live in homes or neighborhoods or apartments or condos, and they hear violence and things happening and they witness things, but they do nothing about it. So this bystander behavior and this bystander approach where people just stand by and do nothing, we see it all the time. No one helps people. There may be one person that may get in there and initiate, and then maybe someone else. But we are in the time of an age where people will film, upload to get likes and shares before they will actually help another human being. And this is not only this does not only happen with men. So therefore, for these men to stand there and do nothing, it's not shocking, because there are women who stand and do nothing when another woman is being beat up by another woman. So let's put that on the table for a second. But my opinion is that there should be a desire to protect another human being, not question what the person did to deserve it. That is what I believe. And I think, especially with men, that should be there. Perhaps in other cultures, that would never happen. That would not have happened. They would have stopped him. I think, yes, maybe, let's say if she was insulting him and she was saying things to him that was rude and disrespectful, she was talking. He obviously felt very insulted, but he did not have enough self-control to walk away or to just, disengage. Speaking, talking, insulting, and a brick, they're not the same. She spoke words, yes, that may have hurt him, cut into him if this happened. All right? So if she was volatile and disrespectful, there is still no justification. I think that should be the focus. There's no justification to physically harm a person. And there should be something in young men to stop that from happening, to want to protect a person regardless. They can say, nah, don't do that. They can even pull him back, take the brick out of his hand and talk to him. God, you don't want to do this. And there's the power of influence. He doesn't have to be threatening and fighting, but I think enough men are standing there to talk him down and say, hey, don't do this. It's not worth it. Whatever the case, somebody else, another guy can go up to her and say, hey, let's turn around. If in fact, he's just being the aggressor for her phone number. And if in fact she was being the aggressor, maybe they wouldn't go up to her. Maybe they don't want to get into anything with her if she's an aggressor. So they will say they can engage with him. I don't think it sounds right under any circumstances for any man to be going on and on about why he didn't defend a woman. It's number one, it makes you look weak. That's my opinion. And even if you feel that way, don't sit on the internet and talk about things like that, because it can be always misconstrued. At present, according to this person, he's saying people are just taking sound bites of what he said and making it into something else, just as there are people who can take sound bites of what I said and not watch the entire thing. But my thing is, men should never stand by and watch someone be attacked and hit in the face with a brick. See someone standing with a brick and want to hit somebody, whether it's a man, a woman, a child. But when you see a woman, there should be something in a man to step in. And when that is absent, where they have to say, well, she kind of does deserve to be hit, that thought in itself is scary. All right? Now let's go to the other side of it. Wait. So yeah, if she was an aggressor, I already gave my position on that. And let's say that he just asked for a number and she said no, and he hit her with a brick. That's definitely crazy. And I still stand on my position as to what I believe those young men should do. Anyone standing by, like, no, guy, you don't do that. Okay? You don't have to be aggressive, but there's more of you than him, and you can say, no, don't do that. Even if you feel like your life could be in danger, you guys can call the police, take a picture, give them the picture so they know who to look for. But that was not done either. As of now, he is still some guy. Now let me give you the other flip side of it. If she was an aggressor, if the guy went up to her and he asked her for her phone number and she insulted him and told him he was ugly and asked him, well, how dare you come up to me? You shoe heel in the front, knockoff, bobblehead, ugly, pay less, dirty, rotten, ugly, beat up, heel to the front, ugly forehead, nose job looking, dirty rascal. She says something like that, right? And she begins to insult him. What she has to consider is that everybody is not always going to react the same. Everyone will not take the moral high ground because sometimes they're at their wits' end. Sometimes they come from a background where they have been insulted in this way, and you say something and it triggers them, or they feel so powerless that they can't say the same things back to you, especially if you're a really good antagonist. They're trying to talk back and they're one up in you. There's some people who do not have any of those sort of moral constraints, and they are going to hurt you. They are going to kill you. Last year or the year before, I believe there was a girl that was in a bodega in New York. And in bodegas, it's a corner store. You go there and you get whatever you want to go. It's normally run by Puerto Ricans, right? And she goes in there. You see this whole thing on camera. You don't hear, but you can see on camera. I don't know. She thought he cut the line, whatever happened, but she's in his face. She's the aggressor. You literally see the guy trying to leave the store. She's pushing him back and blah, 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 yada, yada. She's going on. You see her friends trying to tell her chill, but nah, she's still going on. And the guy's trying to leave. You can see him getting fresh. He's a big, tall dude. She's a little, she's popping off. He leaves and goes outside, and I want to say either she left first or he left and she went after him, whichever order it happened. He went outside and he shot and killed her. They also had something that happened. It was on Facebook like probably 6-7 years ago. I was so mad someone had this on my news feed, but it had a lady and like half of her head had been sliced off. Sorry for the description. You see her body, she was dressed really cute, nice clothes, nice outfit, nice pants, gold belt. She had on nice shoes. What happened? It is alleged that she came home. She went out with another guy, came back to her boyfriend, alleged, talking crazy to him, and he just got a machete and boom. So women who come off as aggressive, women who portray themselves as it is alleged that she has done on any social media platform as an aggressor, if you are someone that you are seen as walking up to men and getting in their faces and talking to them in any other way for the camera, on top of it, you have a camera recording these moments of a prank, a joke, humiliation. You have the audacity, because that's what it is, to get up. Imagine you're just walking around at a store and someone comes up to you and they have their friends laughing at you, filming you, and they walk up to you and they say what they say. And then on top of it, they take their hands and slap you across the face, playfully, lightly. The fact that they're putting their hand in your face, it is an absolute disrespect. In addition to saying stuff about reparations and things to someone who has nothing to do with that. You don't know if that man is married to a black woman. You don't know if he has any sort of ties to that. You know nothing about this person. You don't know if they're at their wits' end. You don't know where they're at in their lives, and you just walk up to them and you do that. That's going to be a problem. And then if you have a history, if people can go on your social media page and see you attacking or saying certain things, or doing things like that to other people, you're getting likes, shares at their expense. And if you come off, you're the type that get up into men's faces, then when you are actually helpless, when you are actually in a state of vulnerability, they're not going to be able to see you as a woman who needs protection, because they see you as an aggressor, if that's what you portray. It's different if she come around and be like, hey, that's not normally me. That was a prank. These guys understand this is all staged. I don't believe in that. This is not who I am. Then perhaps they can look at you and see you as a woman, a gentlewoman. Now we do know that Statistics have shown that there are women, they were nothing like that. They were not aggressors. They simply said no. They simply ended a relationship. They were not interested, and they were still, deleted. These things can happen, but we have to be careful that we do not either discount someone else and just say, oh, she probably deserved it. We don't want to do that. But at the same time, you have to be careful that you don't put in your own experiences. See, as women, this is a mistake that we can make, making emotional references. And because this was your reality and you see evidence, you actually are just seeing you're seeing just a snapshot of a situation that occurred. We're now going to fill in the blanks with what we believe has happened based on past experiences or what has happened in the past. And that at that point when you're doing that, you're being emotional. You're being emotional. Okay? So we have to be careful of that. If you are a woman and you portray yourself in any way on social media to be a aggressive person, if you walk up to people and film people, and if you talk a certain way where you seem as if someone that you will start something and you get in people's faces, people are going to make a judgment about you. And men are going to be less likely, some men will be less likely to step in for you because they see that you are someone that you fight men, you go up to men, you hit men. Let's think about that young lady that passed away in New York City. It's obvious that she's a firecracker. Her friends are like, come on, come on, come on. They can see the situation. The guy's trying to leave. She has probably been this way in the past. This is not her first rodeo. She was just too good at it. And then what happens, it just reached a point that it reached this height and took this turn that was different from before. So if you're known, so people may come around who knows her. She's dead, right? It's terrible. But you're going to have people that's like, man, look, there's people who's looking at the video saying, look, she was the aggressor. So as women, we have to be very careful, because I'm not saying that you have to be weak and docile and woohoo. But if you are someone that you go toe to toe with men, unprovoked in this case, there is evidence of her doing this with men that she do not know, walking up, having her friends record her while she's doing certain things, you're giving an impression to the world and to society. So when someone hears, I got hit you in the face with a brick, there's going to be another group of people that's going to say, no, look at this. She has been an aggressor in the past and he hit her in the face. Is he justified? No, because her talking is not any justification for any man to pick up a brick and hit her. It makes him weak. He had no self-control. He has no way to self-govern himself. So it does say a lot about him as a man. End of story. But it also puts her in a position where people are looking at her like, Now, this young man was saying, you guys don't know her. She is a troublemaker, and I'm not going to put myself in harm's way for a troublemaker. And I have to say that how do I put this? Even though I believe that there should be an innate sense within every man to protect, it is also important that that man uses what? Wisdom and caution. Even the bravest warriors and men of old that you can read about in history and at present, they always plan. Okay? This may or may not be the same, but what I'm saying is, take these guys out of the equation for a second. Someone may know or see someone that goes around. Let's say there's someone that goes around and if it is true, they are known as a troublemaker in the neighborhood. This girl is a troublemaker. This girl starts problems. She's aggressive. She gets into the faces of men. She do all these different things. Are you expecting your sons? Let's take this off the table, make it more personally. Make it more personal. Would you be okay with your son going out there to protect the girl who is always starting trouble? Now that's something that's kind of like, right? So are you willing to lose your son for her? Let's take it. Let's say he has a girlfriend and she is just everywhere they go, there's problems. Things happen. What are you going to do? I can tell you for me, I've been in places where I've gone out with somebody in the past, years ago, and this person is a troublemaker. There's never been any problem at this lounge that I would go to. It's very let up, very mellow, very chill. But here's this person behaving this way. It wasn't the first time they've done that. First time they were saying, oh, I don't know, I must have had too much to drink, which that's one of the other things. I go out, I am not a person that's drinking and getting drunk. You need to be alert, right? I'm not getting drunk. Back then I used to get I would get my drink, but my friends and I were very limited on what we would drink because you cannot be somewhere, pissy drunk. But this person was that way. Troublemaker, drinking, causing problems to the point that there was almost an altercation. And these people are coming around to us. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to really sit there and talk and diffuse it. But it could have been bad. At that point, we learned, now we cannot invite this girl out. We cannot go out with this individual. This person is problematic. But I would tell you, I was not going to jump into the fray for anybody who goes around starting trouble. So even as men, you may have the strength. Men may have the strength to do certain things. They do. But at the same time, if someone behaves in a way where they are putting themselves in harm, danger, or where they can be viewed as a threat and someone's going to get involved, I don't believe a man should be putting himself in harm's way for something like that, regardless. Now, what he can do is say, hey, chill, step back. If it's getting more volatile and crazy, he has to do what he needs to do to preserve himself. It is being responsible. If he has a wife and children at home, he has a daughter, he has sons to raise, who's going to go and jump in front of the bullet for the person who is always going out there and taunting those who may have anger problems? We are living in a society where it is not unlikely for somebody or crazy for somebody to get a gun or shoot everybody, kill everybody. That's how it is. People can walk away, go to their car, and come back with a assault weapon, a sawed-off shotgun. This is it. So people are in a state of preservation, and I do believe that men should want to protect first and foremost. But I also think if you behave yourself as anything other than a lady or other than a woman, that you will stand before a man and behave a certain way, then men are not going to see you as a girl. They're not going to see you as a lady. They see you as one of them because you have shown that you're like them. You're going to fight them. You're going to step to them as a man. So therefore, they're going to stand by and see, hey, what's going to go down now? Because you're one of the boys. So this is my take on it. I feel that without full detail of everything, all we can do is give, I feel, take a critical approach to both. As I said, as men should want to protect. There shouldn't be a matter of, oh, well, what did she do? No one should want to harm or hurt anybody simply because they said words to you that you didn't like. It is a sign of weakness that you cannot refrain or restrain yourself or your anger, that you will do something like that. Okay? You're not strong enough to walk away, that you have such a chip on your shoulder or within you that you have to physically harm a person. It says a lot about that person as a man. I also believe that as a woman, If you have a reputation, this is why I've read in the Bible says that a good name is better than all the riches in the world. Your reputation precedes you. Now, whether the image that she portrays online is her or not, no one will know. But if they see you being an aggressor, if they see you stepping up to men and getting in their space and putting your hands in their face, if you are known as an aggressive person within your community, if you are known for being a loudmouth, if you're known for fighting men, whatever it is, men are not going to see you as anyone that needs to be protected. They see you as one of the boys, one of the guys. It's only the reality of when you get hit or something happens to you, and then that woman starts to cry and she starts to bleed and she starts to say, I'm a woman, how could you do this? But in reality, that is not, this is coming out now like as a siren, as help me, help me. But in your everyday walk, there's nothing about you that says feminine, I'm a woman, I need to be protected. You understand? So it can backfire either way. So this is my take on it. I hope I can get respectful feedback, if any at all. And let it be understood, guys, that your reputation and what you're known for always come into play. In any court case or anything that happens, people are looking back at your past, looking back at the things that you have done. And if you are known for certain things, it could come back to haunt you. Even when you're innocent, people could just go back and see something that you have done. Even for some jobs. I know certain jobs, if you're working for the federal government, secret clearance, depending on the clearance that you need, the level of clearance that you're going to need, they're going to dig into certain things to include your social media history. And that can come back to haunt you. I'm very sad to see what happened to her. No one deserved to have their face hit and deformed in any way. I really hope they do find this guy. I think that he should be held accountable for what he did. He's definitely needs to work on his anger. And I would say, ladies, be very careful. If you're going to be one of the boys and hang with them, they're not going to see that way. They're not going to protect you. And even if you are a person, you hang with the guys and they protect you and everything, like, so a lot of times they think they'll let you fight and then they'll jump in, where they see like you're losing because you act like one of the guys. So be careful. All right, guys, peace.